As September draws to a close, the stage is finally set for the 2023 AFL Grand Final. The contenders, Collingwood, who returned to the big dance 5 years on from their 2018 heartbreak with a new coach and a rejuvenated playing list. And Brisbane, who have overcome their own finals woes after 4 years of top 6 finishes under Chris Fagan that yielded 2 prelim final losses and 2 straight sets exits. With both teams employing contrasting game styles, the match is set to be a tactical arm wrestle as each system attempts to gain the ascendancy. The Magpies have sat first on the ladder since round 7 and have only lost 5 games all season. Despite some shaky form in the back half of the year, they edged past Melbourne in the first week of the finals before reversing last year's 1-point preliminary final loss to win a heartstopper against GWS last week. Craig McRae has been a revelation since taking the helm at Collingwood. An assistant under Damien Hardwick at Richmond, he's combined elements of that chaotic game style with remnants of Nathan Buckley's more precise field kicking style of play. Statistically though, they don't lead in many areas. They finished first with the 4th highest points for and the 3rd lowest points against, but if you look at some of the stats where high-profile teams normally excel, they're nothing exciting. They rank 9th for average disposals, 9th for clearances, 9th for intercepts, and 12th for contested possessions. They do, however, rank 1st for goals per inside 50, scoring a goal about 1 in every 4 entries. This highlights the well-rounded approach McRae has taken. There's no one particular way the Pies prefer to launch attacks, equally comfortable winning clearances and streaming forward in numbers, or controlling the ball off half-back. But when they do go, they launch quick, damaging attacks into a relatively open forward line. From an individual point of view though, there are a couple of clear standouts, with Nick Dacos second in the league for average disposals and Darcy Moore third for intercept possessions. Daniel McStay was also crucial in the second half comeback against the Giants, and his loss to a knee injury creates an interesting selection conundrum for Collingwood. In their round 23 meeting with the Lions, Jeremy Howe started forward, so it wouldn't be surprising to see him move there again, allowing the Pies to bring in Billy Frampton as a replacement. After sitting in and around the top 4 for most of the year, Brisbane finally cracked into the top 2 with just a few rounds left, and perhaps crucially, secured a home final where they maintained their perfect record at the Gabba this year. The crowd sung their hearts out as they brushed past Port in the semi, and managed to compose themselves to cruise past the fast-starting Carlton in the prelim on Saturday. At 62 years of age, Chris Fagan will become the oldest grand final coach, and just the second to have never played AFL or VFL football themselves. In contrast to Collingwood, the Lions have a more defined style of attack. While we usually think of direct attacking teams as playing through the middle, you'll often see the Lions quickly move the ball out and around, looking for leads in space and utilising elite disposal. They have the highest kick-to-handball ratio in the league, and average the 3rd most marks per game, meaning their long kicking still enables them to be incredibly direct. This style is incredibly damaging when combined with the Lions' clearance dominance, ranking 1st in the league and led by co-captain and now dual Brownlow medalist Lachie Neale, who averages 8 per game. This enables them to give their damaging forwards immediate access to the footy and keeps opposition defences continuously under pressure. In defence, they're led by fellow co-captain Harris Andrews, who averages over 9 spoils a game, more than any other player. Following that 5-goal breakaway from the Baggers, the Lions will be wary of a similar fast start from Collingwood. In that first quarter, the Lions visibly struggled to maintain possession, and their kicks were often hurried bombs to packs, rather than their smooth kick-mark movement. As a result, they may look to correct this with some tempo play early on, to try and take some of the sting out of the contest and ease themselves into the game. Both meetings between the two teams this year have been high scoring, so with a sunny 26-degree forecast, fans could be treated to a shootout. although tight grand finals do have a reputation for being low scoring. This year and beyond, the Lions have actually enjoyed playing Collingwood of late, having won their previous 6 encounters, although none of these were played at the MCG, where Brisbane have won just one of their last 15 games. The Pies were also missing Moore, Jordan De Goey and Nick Dacos in that most recent defeat, during which the Lions kept the Pies at arm reach for most of the night to claim a comfortable 26-point win. Both sides play fairly direct football, with the key difference being the Lions much preferring to move the ball by foot. This direct game has stretched Collingwood in the past, and if the Lions can get on top of the clearances and start using the ball well, Collingwood's defence may just struggle. While Brisbane do lead the league for clearances, Collingwood smashed the Giants in this area last week, largely thanks to De Goey, whose clear best on ground performance went a long way towards Collingwood's victory. Josh Dunkley did find success limiting Patrick Cripps to 13 touches in the prelim, so he may be the one called upon to limit De Goey's influence. Up forward, Charlie Cameron has kicked 10 goals against the Pies this year, while Brody Myercheck has 5 against Brisbane. Shutting down the dangerous Cameron, who was threatening but wayward against Carlton, must be a focus for the Pies. They'll be largely unconcerned about their avenues to goal at the other end. Myercheck, Elliott and Hill have led the way this year, but with 8 players who've kicked between 10 and 20 goals this season, it's clear they prefer to share the load. Now, 20 years on from the match that crowned Brisbane's three-peat back in 2003, it's set up to be a game for the ages. The Pies have been by far the best team all year, but the Lions have beaten them twice. All eyes will be focused on the MCG and the chance to make history on the last Saturday in September. So who do you think will come out on top? Who wins the Norm Smith? And what will be the pivotal matchup in the game? Let us know in the comments.